Going over to the cultural podcast, you have Taylor Lorenz saying that she is filled with joy that United CEO was gunned down in the street, which I don't know how emotionally vacuous someone could be to celebrate that a family man has been having his life taken prematurely, but she is going viral for this. Now, this comes to us thanks to End Wokeness on X, when she says, quote, Taylor Lorenz on how it felt to watch the CEO Brian Thompson execution, and she says she felt joy. Which, yeah, let's hear what she attempts to say.
Believe in the sanctity of life, and I think
this is
that's
thanks to
why
Piers Morgan Uncensored, which, fascinatingly enough, as time goes by, has become more and more based.
I do believe in the sanctity of life, and I think that's why I felt, along with so many other Americans, joy. Unfortunately, because it feels like
serious.
I mean,
joy at
I
a
guess
man's
I would say
execution.
maybe not joy, but certainly not empathy. Because again,
we're watching the footage. How can this make you joyful? This guy's a husband, he's a father, and he's being gunned down in the middle of Manhattan. Why does that make you joyful?
Thousands of Americans that he murdered. So are the tens of thousands of Americans, innocent Americans, who died because greedy health insurance executives like this one push policies of denying care to the most vulnerable people. And the many millions of Americans that have watched people that I care about suffer and in some cases die because of lack of health care.
So should they all be killed then? Should they all be killed, these healthcare executives?
Also, we live in America. I know we had a communist try to force everyone to buy a product that they don't necessarily need, but you don't legally need to, you're not forced to buy health insurance. In some states, you are forced to buy car insurance. That's a debate for another time, perhaps. But again, no one is forced to buy that health insurance policy from that particular provider, too. Again, if you don't like their policies or how they're treating you, thanks to the free market, you can go somewhere else. But I partially digress.
Would that make you even more joyful?
No, that would not.
But why not?
And,
why are you laughing?
I think because it wouldn't fix the system.
You seem to find the whole thing hilarious.
I find your question funny.
A bloke's been murdered in the street. I don't find it funny at all.
I don't find it funny that tens of thousands of Americans die every year and because they are denied life-saving health care from people like the CEO. Now, I want to fix the system. You're right. We shouldn't be going around shooting each other with vigilante justice. No. I think that it is a good thing that this murder has led to America, or really the media elites and politicians in this country paying attention to this issue for the first time. You mentioned you couldn't understand.
This is one of the most hotly debated topics in politics. Again, I partially blame the government interventionism, kind of the worst of both worlds in terms of the government being too big and doing too much and forcing companies and policies to do certain things. The United States is pretty unique in that regard about having both of them too big, in my opinion. But yeah, she's saying, oh yeah, now we're talking about it.
Understand why somebody would feel this reaction when they watch a CEO die. It's because you have not dealt, it sounds like, with the American healthcare system in the way that millions of other Americans have.
I've dealt with the healthcare system in various ways in America. I don't think it's perfect by any means, but the idea that I would view it as something...
Have you been denied life-saving treatment?
The idea that I would view it as something joyful, that a man has been, who's just a healthcare executive, has been executed in the street, I find completely bizarre.
And she went pretty viral. This got about 1.1 million views and 5,000 likes. Some of the top comments include, well, I'm a little biased. It's not a top comment in terms of likes, but I don't read it. This commenter looks extraordinarily handsome and brilliant. It's me, hashtag the topping show at X. And I say, quote, how dark of a soul does one have to applaud a family man having his life taken away prematurely? Got 3 likes. Although I would argue it's all about quality over quantity. Those are the best 3 likes of all time, bar none. I'm a little biased though. You also have Gunther Eagleman saying, quote, trash human being, getting 499 likes. Paul Zupa says, quote, Taylor Lorenz is the epitome of the far left, insane and soulless, getting 548 likes. Planet of Memes, suspiciously. I don't know if are they really a Planet of Memes anymore? It's been seemingly weeks since I actually responded in meme form, but I partially digress. Saying, quote, I think she's been wearing a mask for way too long, getting 93 likes. You also have ME saying, quote, the left often struggles to evaluate situations and events independently, instead tending to group everything together and allowing emotions to dictate, ultimately losing sight of what is right and wrong. Could this be the byproduct of certain tendencies forecasted by academia? Gave 121 likes, which, Yeah, fascinatingly enough, when you look at the far Marxist leftist folks who have the emotional intelligence of, well, perhaps of a beagle. Although one could also argue a beagle is actually more intelligent in terms of their vocabulary, but I'm only partially exaggerating there. But yeah, the most down-to-earth people I know, the ones that are most, level-headed, yeah, they don't have PhDs. They're just good old hardworking Americans. Yeah, Brian Stillwart saying, quote, "We have a serious problem with the Marxist left. There's way too many of them, getting 10 likes." True. Adam in his town, Texas, says, quote, "The irony in lunatics like her want a government to run healthcare system in which unelected bureaucrats would decide who does and who doesn't get access to healthcare." In 24 likes. Which, yep. Last thing about America, if you're in an emergency, you can get healthcare pretty damn quick. There are a lot of things in the private sector. There's a lot of emergency rooms, and you can get an ambulance pretty much darn near immediately. In other countries, you have to go on a waiting list. It's almost comically pathetic, especially when you have places like Canada. Going down more and more. Florida 1 says these people are something. They wonder why they're losing viewership at all levels, getting 96 likes. Sean Farish says, quote, to quote Donald J. Trump, "Such a nasty woman." Which, well, granted, I have to do attempt Trump's accent. Probably won't be the best. Well, it might be the worst to hear all year, but say, "What a nasty woman, obviously unintelligent. No one would ever listen to her, but she somehow gets the airtime." Probably something Trump would say, maybe. You also have Seeking the Truth saying Taylor is sick in her head. Unbelievable, getting 111 likes. Zach says, if the liberals were still wondering why they lost the election, please see Exhibit A, getting 185, let's make 186 likes. Because, yep, that's cheering on the most evil acts, such as murder. Yeah, that's, morally vacuous to say the least, and I think emblematic of most leftist ideologies. And not too surprised, that they lost. But let me know in the comments. I mean, we're seeing more and more people go online, and the only silver lining in the situation, which I try to tell folks, if you squint hard enough in life, you'll find a silver lining, or you'll see the glass is half full, so to say. The upside of the situation is a lot of people are publicly posting their opinions online, in which you now know, maybe perhaps you're a small business owner, or you work in human resources, or you're a hiring manager. Well, now you can look at their social media and goes, well, look at this. Now he's applauding a family man getting gunned down the street. Probably don't want to hire her. Probably someone I don't want in the office. Probably going to cause a ruckus. But let me know. I mean, it seems like there's a lot of that going around anecdotally online, but let me know your thoughts, because as always, be fascinating to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. Again, try to get to 4,000 subscribers by Christmas, so you can click that button. I really appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or a comment is a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take the time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight.